Good afternoon. This is All India Radio and I am Valsa Williams with the midday news. The headlines. India and France to work together to combat terrorism and radicalisation and ensure peace. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address Indian community in Paris today. Pakistan blacklisted by Asia Pacific Group of Financial Action Task Force for its failure to comply with terror funding standards. No immediate relief from Supreme Court to former Union Minister P. Chidambaram in INX Media case. Court adjourns CBI hearing to Monday. Women and Child Development Ministry sets target to connect 44 crore people through Poshan Abhiyaan to tackle malnutrition. In West Bengal, 5 devotees killed in stampede at Lok Nath temple in North 24 Parganas district. And in sports, Rishabh, Pant and Ravindra Jadeja to resume India's first innings in the opening test match against West Indies in Antigua. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that terrorism and radicalisation are affecting India and France. In his tweet, Mr. Modi said both the countries will continue to work together for peace. The Prime Minister, who reached France yesterday, met the French President Emmanuel Macron and held bilateral talks. In his statement yesterday after the talks, the Prime Minister appreciated France's support to fight against cross-border terrorism and vowed to work for peace in the region. Both leaders reaffirmed that terrorism cannot be justified on any grounds whatsoever and it should not be associated with any religion, creed, nationality and ethnicity. Both leaders also agreed to work for early convening of the global conference proposed by India to tackle the threat of terrorism around the world. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the Indian community at the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization UNESCO building in Paris shortly. Mr. Modi will also inaugurate the memorial of Air India crash victims from the UNESCO headquarters. Homi Jahangir Bhabha, the father of Indian nuclear program, passed away in the accident in 1966. More than 1 lakh Indians from different parts of the country have been living in France for more than 4 generations. Earlier in the day, Mr. Modi met the Prime Minister of France, Eduardo Philippe. The Asia-Pacific Group, APG, of the global watchdog for terror financing and money laundering has put Pakistan in the enhanced expedited follow-up list blacklist for its failure to meet its standards. The APG of the Financial Action Task Force, FATF, has also found that Pakistan was non-compliant on 32 of the 40 compliance parameters of terror financing and money laundering. The FATF-APG meeting was held in Canberra, Australia, and discussions lasted over 7 hours over 2 days. Here is a report.
Pakistan had suffered another setback at the international stage today. On 11 effectiveness parameters of terror financing and money laundering, Pakistan was adjudged as low on 10. Pakistan could not convince the 41-member plenary to upgrade it on any parameter. Now, Pakistan has to focus on avoiding the blacklist in October when the 15-month timeline ends on the FATF's 27-point action plan. Since June 2018, Pakistan has been on the grey list of countries whose domestic laws are considered weak to tackle the challenges of money laundering and terror financing. India and other member countries of the FATF charged Pakistan with failing to take concrete action against Hafiz Saeed, Maulana Masood Azhar and other UN-designated terrorists. This will add financial burden to Pakistan, which is seeking aid from all possible international avenues to overcome a slump in economy. With Naseem Naqvi, Anand Kumar, AIR News Delhi.
India and the United States reviewed the progress and development of bilateral relations, cross-cutting defense, security and foreign policy areas in the 2+2 intersessional meeting. The two countries explored further possibilities of cooperation in these fields based on common interest. The inaugural 2+2 ministerial meeting was held in New Delhi in September last year. The intersessional meeting mechanism was set up pursuant to the 2+2 ministerial. President Ram Nath Kovind has said that education needs to go beyond mere literacy. He said it must facilitate and challenge the young to search deep within themselves and build their inner strength to sympathize with the suffering of others. Inaugurating the first World Youth Conference on Kindness in New Delhi today, he said the education can play an important role in overcoming prejudices. He said Mahatma Gandhi was not just a great leader and visionary, but remains extremely relevant to present-day concerns such as peace, tolerance, terrorism and climate change.
I am happy to be here to inaugurate the first World Youth Conference on Kindness. Few weeks from now, on October 2nd, we will celebrate the 150th birth anniversary of our father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi. This event on kindness, value synonymous with Gandhiji, is very relevant for us. I congratulate the UNESCO, Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Education for Peace and Sustainable Development, Ministry of Human Resource Development, and other organizations that have come together to organize this event.
Women and Child Development Minister Smriti Irani said that the government has set a target to connect 44 crore people through Poshan Abhiyaan to combat malnutrition. She was speaking at the 2018-19 Poshan Abhiyaan Awards function in New Delhi. Speaking on the occasion, Ms. Irani expressed hope that challenges of malnutrition will be addressed and the country will become malnutrition-free.
यशोदा को कृष्ण की माँ समझते हैं। आंगनबाड़ी की हमारी दीदी किसी यशोदा से कम नहीं। और आज अगर कंस की भांति कोई चुनौती है तो वो है कुपोषण। इसलिए आज इस शुभ अवसर पर मैं प्रभु से प्रार्थना करती हूँ कि जैसे उन्होंने कंस पर विजय पाई, वैसे ही हमारी यशोदा आंगनबाड़ी के माध्यम से कुपोषण पर विजय पाएगी।
Ms. Irani said from next month, a month-long Poshan Abhiyaan will begin, in which the government is set to double the number of people connected through this campaign. She said last year 22 crore people were added through this program. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has asked the Competition Commission of India, CCI, to ensure that Indian enterprises are not subjected to abuse from entities overseas. Speaking at an event to celebrate 10 years of Competition Commission of India in New Delhi, Ms. Sitharaman said the regulator has many challenges in the context of the new economy.
I think Competition Commission is got its job cut. You've got enough challenges. You have certain developments which are happening at the macro level, all of which should guide us, both in order to protect the Indian consumer, but yet ensure that Indian enterprises are not going to be subject to excessive abuses from companies which are existing somewhere else, which do not submit themselves to the Indian law per se.
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
Ratna Kaki! Nagma Didi! Ravi Aunty! Sonu Kaka! Prakash Bhaiya! Sabko bulao! Taiyar ho jao! Milke karenge! Gaon ka naam roshan hogi jab स्वच्छता की परीक्षा।
जब गांव वाले लगे परिवार जैसे तो हुआ ना गांव भी घर जैसा। तो चलो मिलके गांव को भी घर जैसा साफ रखते हैं और अपना नाम रोशन करते हैं। गांव की परीक्षा मतलब स्वच्छ सर्वेक्षण ग्रामीण शुरू हो चुकी है। हम हैं तैयार और आप।
पेयजल एवं स्वच्छता विभाग, जल शक्ति मंत्रालय, भारत सरकार द्वारा जनहित में जारी।
Congress leader and former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram will continue to be in custody as the Supreme Court did not intervene in the CBI case. In this case, he has been sent for custodial interrogation of the agency till August the 26th. However, Chidambaram was granted protection from arrest by the Apex Court today in the money laundering case lodged by the Enforcement Directorate in the INX Media case. A bench comprising Justices R. Bhanumati and A.S. Bopanna posted both the matters for hearing on Monday. Chidambaram is being probed in two cases of alleged corruption and money laundering linked to INX Media by the CBI and ED. He was remanded to CBI custody for 4 days till August the 26th yesterday, a day after the agency arrested him at his Jorbagh residence. Pronouncing its order, a special CBI court observed that allegations against him were serious in nature, for which a detailed and in-depth investigation is required. The Supreme Court asked the Uttar Pradesh government to pass orders on extension of tenure of the special judge conducting trial in the Babri Masjid case. A bench of Justices R.F. Nariman and Suryakant said a fresh letter has been written by the special judge on the 27th of July. The special judge had made 5 requests, including providing him security. The bench asked senior advocate Aishwarya Bhati, who was appearing for the state, to consider all 5 requests within 2 weeks' time, saying the requests appear reasonable. The Supreme Court agreed to examine the validity of the newly enacted law on triple talaq. The law makes the practice of instant divorce through triple talaq among Muslims a punishable offence, entailing imprisonment of up to 3 years. A bench of Justices N.V. Ramana and Ajay Rastogi issued notice to the centre on a batch of petitions which has sought to declare the Muslim Women Protection of Rights and Marriage Act 2019 as unconstitutional. It claims that it allegedly violates the provisions of the Constitution. Former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh took oath as a member of the Rajya Sabha today. The oath was administered by Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu. In West Bengal, at least 5 devotees were killed and several others injured in a stampede at Kachua in North 24 Parganas district today. Thousands of devotees were assembled at Lok Nath Mandir on the occasion of Janmashtami. According to official sources, the unprecedented footfall led to the incident. The Chief Minister, Mamata Banerjee, has visited the hospital in Kolkata to see the injured. The West Bengal government has announced 5 lakh rupees compensation to the next of kin of the victims, besides compensation of 1 lakh rupees to the seriously injured, while 50,000 rupees to those with minor injuries. In his Independence Day speech this year, Prime Minister Narendra Modi called for efforts to realize the dream of Ek Bharat, Shresth Bharat. One idea cited by the Prime Minister was of one nation, one election. The elections to the Lok Sabha and state assemblies had been held simultaneously prior to 1967. The difference in tenure started subsequent to early dissolution of certain state assemblies and later of the Lok Sabha as well. BJP spokesperson from Assam, Dr. Numal Momin, asserted that the concept of simultaneous elections is budget-friendly and will go a long way in saving resources.
Narendra Modi ji is thinking to one nation, one election. It's a very great effort. I hope that this will bring a new chapter in Indian politics. One nation, one constitution, and one election. What a great idea. And being a people of Northeast India, we strongly support Honorable Prime Minister's decision to come up with a one nation, one election theory.
In Jammu and Kashmir, the government today imposed restrictions in Srinagar and other areas under Section 144 following appearance of a poster spreading rumours. The security officials described the posters as a rumour, saying there will be no lowering of guard to maintain law and order. Security forces have been deployed at many places to maintain law and order. Restrictions were eased in most areas of Kashmir this week. In Tamil Nadu, police is put on high alert following intelligence inputs that 6 LET terrorists have intruded into Coimbatore in the state. 5 of the terrorists are believed to be from Sri Lanka and 1 from Pakistan. The police sources told AIR the terrorists have come to India via Sri Lanka. In cricket, India will resume their first innings against the West Indies on the second day of the opening test at Antigua this evening. Rishabh, Pant and Ravindra Jadeja were at the crease when the first day was called off, with India 203 for 6. Only 68.5 overs of play was possible as inclement weather led to multiple interruptions on the first day of the match, a part of the World Test Championship. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. India and France to work together to combat terrorism and radicalisation and ensure peace. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is addressing the Indian community in Paris today. Pakistan blacklisted by Asia Pacific Group of Financial Action Task Force for its failure to comply with terror funding standards. No immediate relief from Supreme Court to former Union Minister P. Chidambaram. In INX Media case, court adjourns CBI hearing to Monday. Women and Child Development Ministry sets target to connect 44 crore people through Poshan Abhiyaan to tackle malnutrition. In West Bengal, 5 devotees killed in stampede at Lok Nath temple in North 24 Parganas district. And with that, we end the midday news.